Hello friends, welcome back to another video on the channel. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Fran. Today is a one-of-a-kind video on my channel. There's already a lot of videos existing similar to what I'm doing today, but this is my version of a nib comparison for some of the Esterbrook SD nibs that I own. The reason I want to do this video, despite there already being nib comparison videos, is because when I picked up my Esterbrook Coffee Monsters Co. pen in Los Angeles during the Flax Pen to Paper pop-up event that Helen was at, that she hosted, I originally ordered my pen in a fine, but Gena Salorino was there, who grinds the journaler nib, and they were offering live nib grinding to anyone who wasn't able to pick up the journaler nib. However, I picked up a fine nib, and their journaler nib is ground from an original medium-sized nib, and a medium-sized nib is just too thick for me. So I asked them if they would be willing to grind my fine into a fine journaler. So I wanted to compare what that journaler looks like now that it's been ground to some of the other Esterbrook SD nibs. So I have 3 SDs and then Jacob has 2, but for the sake of this video, because I do have some extra Esterbrook nibs on the side, I wanted to go ahead and just compare all the nibs that I have. So that being said, I am also going to dip test. None of these pens are inked up, so that I could ink it in the same ink, and I chose Pilot Namiki Black because I feel like a black ink is the most unbiased when it comes to comparing line widths. There's no shading, it's just all black. This is my only black ink, so that's why I'm using Namiki Black, but I'm sure there are blacker blacks available. All right, so Esterbrook SDs come with a Yovo number 6 nib, Yovo number 6 steel nib, and these are pretty standard size in the fountain pen industry. I don't know enough to tell you more than that. I just know that the nibs are convertible within the Esterbrook SD and Esterbrook Model J pens. And then there are also some other models that you can switch them out with, but I haven't gotten that far into exploring. Okay, so now before I start dipping, this notebook is 52 GSM Tomoe River paper. This is 4mm grid. This notebook specifically is a B6 size, and it is from Planner Monkey Co. So hopefully that will help in determining the thickness and line widths of everything. I'm gonna turn the page this way because I wanna write the alphabet out with each pen. So right now in my botanical garden, I have the extra fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip it. I guess I'll just write Esterbrook. Oh my gosh, I don't know why I get such stage fright when I start writing, but I will try to, other than the nib size, I'm gonna try to write the same thing with each nib size, so that way you can compare the lines. And for me, I write with a medium pressure, so if you write a little bit lighter pressure, I'll just do this for light pressure, you could kind of see the difference in the line width. So here I go, I'm gonna go with, and I will zoom in if that helps. Right, so that is an Esterbrook. So I'm a lefty, so I'll write my swatch right to left because that's a lot easier. But that is an extra fine. Here we have a fine in Jacob's corky leaf. And then next I'm going to write, because this is a fine, I'm gonna write with my Coffee Monsters Co. fine that had been ground down to Gena's journaler. So I don't know if I call it you know, GJS is what they put on the nib. The next pen, or the next nib size, this is my Winter White, and I have a custom ground mini stub, or the Esterbrook custom grind in a mini stub. And so the mini stubs start as a fine nib as well, and then they get ground. So I'm gonna do mini stub fine. In the Blue Moon, we've got, oh, this is also a fine. Wait, this doesn't help because this is a piston filler, so I can't swap another nib with that. So I'm gonna have to use one of these guys, because I do also have a medium. My bad, y'all. And then this one is a 1.1 stub. So what I'm gonna do is, if you haven't seen what it looks like to swap, I just take my microfiber cloth and I hold the grip section, and then I gently but firmly, but not forcefully, try to wiggle the nib out. And then once the nib is loose, you can pretty much just turn the pen and out that nib comes, and then I will just reverse my actions. But again, you don't want to force anything too much, so you just kind of follow, right, the flow of the pen. So this is a medium nib. I got this because I think I want to get it ground when I go to the San Francisco Pen Show in August. So you could see that this is a juicy writer. And while I love the writing experience, I just can't imagine using this on a day-to-day basis. Okay, I'm gonna do this. Now I'm gonna do the same thing using my Winter White to show you all the 1.1 stub. And I'm gonna be honest with you all, I really only got, I bought the stub because I wanted to do this comparison video, and I thought comparing the stub to the mini stub would be fun. So I don't, obviously I'm not gonna use it, but, oh, and I also don't have a broad, so hopefully I don't screw this up for anyone by not having that one. But you could see I'm holding the pen upright, and it's just too juicy for a 4mm grid, and I'm just not the type to use more than one grid line. So there's that. And then just for the sake of the video, since I'm done, I'm gonna use 2 grid lines just so you could see some comparison. So again, this is 1.1. I think if I was like a big, like if I had bigger handwriting, I would absolutely love the stub nib. But the way that I use my fountain pens is I just don't write that large all the time. Like I write large if I'm doing like a header, but I don't use fountain pens for that. So, and then here's the mini stub, which starts out as a fine. So so much. Bye. So there's that, and then maybe the medium will help. I think I have the medium in here. All right, y'all, so let's get a closer look at this comparison. I realized not having a broad again might be frustrating for anyone who is used to a broad, so my apologies for that. But the biggest thing I wanted to compare here is the fine. Is it? Hopefully it's the fine and the journaler and the mini stub. Because to me, the journaler feels like a softer mini stub. The journaler's up and down strokes are very similar to the fine, but then you could see the side strokes are like thinner than what the original fine is like. So for me, the journaler is keeping the fine vertical strokes and then taking the extra fine side strokes, but the ends of the lines are a little softer than a mini stub. Like a mini stub here really is like you take the stub and then you make it mini. And so you can see like in the top corners of the line, like my line samples here, like the corners are like a little sharper, whereas like on the journal. Okay, my battery died, I'm so sorry. I was saying that the journaler's corners are a little softer than the corners on the mini stub. So I don't know if that helped. I know Helen herself did a comparison before the pen came out, so that might be more helpful than mine, but I think I just wanted to share my experience and why I am so glad I was able to get the fine grounded down. It just feels like a smoother experience too. And I don't know, it just gives my writing, I feel like it gives my writing a bit of pizzazz than if I were to just use the regular fine. So I think my favorite grinds from Esterbrook right now are obviously this unique Gena Salorino journaler in a fine. The mini stub is like my ultimate favorite, and then obviously the extra fine for its thin line, the thinner width of a line. Like, I mean, if I press hard enough, I could get it as inky, but I don't want to press on, like the point of fountain pens is you don't have to like actually exert as much effort to use the pens. So I don't know if you found this helpful. You might not have, but maybe you just wanted to hang out and watch me test my Esterbrook Estes. Either way, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy this content. Let me know in a comment down below if you have Esterbrook Estes, what your favorite nib grind is, and what my next Estes should be, because I am itching for a new one to put in my medium nib in. Looking forward to hearing from you all in the comments down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you at the next video, my friends. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye.